Have you ever wondered if you're missing the quiet warnings your loved one's body is sending? Over the past year, you might have noticed subtle changes in an elderly family member. Things that feel off but are easy to dismiss as just aging. These could be critical signs that their time is drawing near, and missing them could leave you unprepared for what's to come. In this video, we uncover 5 key signs that often appear in the year before an elderly person passes away, offering you the clarity to recognize them early and make every moment count. Understanding these signs isn't just about awareness. It's about empowering you to provide better care, create lasting memories, and ensure your loved one's final days are filled with dignity, comfort, and love. By watching until the end, you'll gain practical tools to navigate these changes with compassion, helping you avoid the regret of missed opportunities. We'll explore how unintentional weight loss, extreme fatigue, cognitive confusion, frequent infections, and changes in breathing or circulation signal deeper shifts, and what you can do to respond with grace. This knowledge can bring peace of mind, helping you make informed decisions and cherish precious time with your loved one. Don't miss these insights. They could transform how you care for someone you love during their most vulnerable moments. Stay with us to learn how to honor their journey with wisdom and love, ensuring their final chapter is as meaningful as possible. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Significant weight loss. One of the earliest and most unmistakable signs that someone may be nearing the final chapter of their life is unintentional, significant weight loss. At first glance, it might seem almost trivial. A belt that suddenly needs tightening, clothes that hang a little looser, or perhaps a slowly fading appetite. These small changes can feel so subtle that it's easy to dismiss them as just a natural part of aging, something we tell ourselves everyone goes through. But the truth is far more profound and often deeply unsettling. This gradual weight loss, especially when it happens without any conscious effort, is rarely just a benign sign. It is the body quietly sending a powerful message. A message that things are shifting in ways that go beyond surface appearances. It whispers that beneath the skin, changes are taking root, changes that signal a slowing down, a surrender to time that is hard to accept. When I think about this, I can't help but feel a deep sense of sorrow. The body begins to lose its ability to absorb nutrients the way it once did. Muscle mass, the very foundation of strength and independence, starts to wither away. While it's true that aging naturally brings some muscle loss, when it happens faster than expected, it's a glaring red flag. The digestive system may no longer break down food efficiently. Proteins that once helped maintain muscle tone are no longer processed effectively. This leads to muscle wasting, a loss that isn't just physical but touches the core of a person's dignity and autonomy. It pains me to imagine someone I love growing weaker, struggling to move with the ease they once had. The risk of falls climbs, and with it, the fear of losing the freedom to live life on their terms. More alarmingly, their immune system becomes fragile, leaving them vulnerable to infections and illnesses that a stronger body might have resisted. It's as if the body is quietly giving up its battle, one muscle fiber at a time. Another heartbreaking part of this process is the change in appetite. Many older adults no longer feel hungry like they used to. Their sense of taste dulls, and food, once a source of comfort and joy, becomes a chore, even a burden. Meals shift from moments of pleasure and nourishment to mere obligations. Sometimes they skip meals without even realizing it. Other times, they simply don't care. I find this deeply tragic because food is not just fuel. It's connection, tradition, and love shared across the table. This is not a fleeting phase or a mood that will pass. It is a physiological shift. The signals the body sends to the brain to eat grow faint and infrequent. The result is a dwindling energy reserve, a loss of vitality that no amount of coaxing can restore. Watching someone you care about slowly lose their strength and spark in this way can feel devastatingly helpless. Beneath these changes, there are often hidden medical conditions silently contributing to the decline. Diseases like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease may progress without obvious symptoms until it's too late to intervene effectively. Even mental health struggles, such as depression or cognitive decline, can cause a loss of appetite, trapping the person in a cycle of weight loss and further weakening. These illnesses are cruel. Not only do they ravage the body, but they chip away at the mind and spirit. Confusion, despair, and withdrawal become unwelcome companions, making the journey all the more isolating. Families, desperate to help, often try to encourage their loved ones to eat more, offering favorite dishes, supplementing meals with protein shakes, hoping to see the familiar sparkle return. While these gestures come from a place of profound love, there's a painful truth. When weight continues to drop despite all efforts, the issue transcends food and diet. It is the body preparing for a transition that none of us can avoid. At this point, pushing for bigger meals may only add frustration without changing the course. Instead, what matters most is shifting the focus to comfort, offering soft, easy-to-eat foods, ensuring hydration, and creating moments filled with tenderness, warmth, and peace. These small acts of care can provide profound solace in a time of quiet surrender. If you notice significant weight loss in an elderly loved one, especially when it's accompanied by less eating, growing weakness, or difficulty moving, it's time to pause and truly listen. This is not simply about appearances. It is the body's profound message, a call for compassion and understanding. Recognizing this message with empathy can be one of the hardest but most important things you do. It helps you prepare emotionally and practically for the difficult journey ahead, allowing you to be present in the most meaningful way possible. In these moments, love becomes not about fighting the inevitable but about honoring the dignity, comfort, and peace of the one you cherish most. Number 2. Extreme fatigue and weakness. One of the most heartbreaking and profound signs that often emerges in the final year of a loved one's life is an overwhelming, all-consuming fatigue. This exhaustion isn't the kind of tiredness that a restful night's sleep can fix, nor is it just the weariness that follows a long day. It's a deep, persistent heaviness that seeps into every fiber of the body, refusing to lift no matter how much rest is taken. It feels as if the very essence of vitality is being quietly and relentlessly drained away, leaving behind a fragile shell struggling to hold on. This isn't simply feeling a little run down or sluggish. It's a bone-deep tiredness that makes even the smallest, most routine tasks feel like insurmountable challenges. Rising from bed, once automatic, now demands a monumental effort. Walking across a room can feel like running a marathon, and activities that once brought joy or were effortless, like cooking a simple meal, dressing oneself, or even engaging in heartfelt conversation, suddenly sap every ounce of strength. Witnessing this transformation in someone you care about is soul-crushing. Physiologically, this profound fatigue signals that the body is doing everything it can to preserve its dwindling energy reserves. As the heart's pumping weakens, circulation slows, and muscles receive less oxygen, the body instinctively prioritizes survival over activity. Metabolism slows down dramatically, shifting focus away from movement and energy expenditure towards sustaining vital organ function. It's nature's way of trying to protect what's most important when time and strength are no longer abundant. Because of this, many elderly individuals in their final months find themselves needing far more sleep, dozing off multiple times throughout the day, unable to stay awake or active for long stretches. It's as if their body is gently signaling, "I'm holding on with what little I have left." This biological reality is painful to watch, especially when contrasted with the vibrant energy they once had. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Yet, perhaps even more heartbreaking than the physical toll is the emotional weight this fatigue brings. For many seniors who once prided themselves on their independence and capability, this sudden weakness can feel humiliating and deeply frustrating. The inability to do what once came naturally chips away at their sense of self, making them retreat inward. They may shy away from conversations, withdraw from social gatherings, and abandon hobbies that once filled their days with purpose, not because their interests have faded, but because their bodies can no longer keep pace with their passions. This isolation feeds the decline, creating a vicious cycle that's as painful emotionally as it is physically. As a family member or caregiver, this is one of the hardest journeys to witness. You want to help, to fix it somehow, but often feel powerless in the face of such profound change. It's tempting to think that pushing them to try harder or stay active might bring back some spark, but the truth is far more delicate. The body is sending clear signals, and it is essential, no sacred, to listen with patience and compassion. In these tender moments, what matters most is honoring their limits without judgment. Allowing space for rest and stillness becomes an act of profound love. It's not about forcing activity or achievement, but about being present, creating calm, comfort, and peace. Cherish the quiet conversations, the gentle smiles, and the shared silences. These are the moments that truly count. Ultimately, what leaves a lasting impression is not the list of things they could still do, but how deeply they felt loved, understood, and supported when their strength was fading. When physical abilities diminish and words grow faint, the warmth of connection and care remains the light that guides us through the darkest times. It is in this love that dignity is preserved, and a life well lived finds its gentle, meaningful close. Number 3. Increased cognitive confusion or withdrawal. As we draw closer to the final chapters of life, the mind often begins to change in ways that are both heartbreaking and deeply challenging to witness. It's like watching the very essence of someone you have loved and known for years slowly fade away. Not in a sudden, dramatic way, but in a quiet, painful unraveling that tugs at your heart every single day. This isn't just ordinary forgetfulness. It's a profound transformation, a gradual slipping away from the sharpness and clarity that once defined them. The person who used to recall even the tiniest details, birthdays, names, cherished moments, now struggles to remember faces, names, or events that happened just a day ago. Their thoughts, once vibrant and full of life, become tangled in confusion, as if their mind is trapped in an endless, bewildering maze. And for those of us who love them, this slow decline feels like a silent grief that weighs heavily on the soul. I have seen this myself, and it's one of the most wrenching experiences imaginable. Imagine sitting beside someone who used to light up a room with their laughter and wisdom, only to now see them lost in a fog, unable to hold onto the threads of conversation or recognize the familiar places that once brought them comfort. It's not just forgetfulness. It's a gradual withdrawal, a shrinking of their inner world that's incredibly hard to accept. They may seem unaware of where they are or become disoriented in spaces that were once as familiar as their own hands. The lively, engaged person you remember might now seem distant, quieter, and more withdrawn. But this quietness isn't a sign of indifference or lack of care. No, it's the heartbreaking result of their mind struggling to keep pace with emotions and connections that were once effortless. This cognitive decline isn't just a phase. It's a complex emotional journey for everyone involved. The person experiencing it is navigating an internal world that's slipping away, and the family watching feels powerless, often engulfed by sadness and frustration. It's like losing them bit by bit, yet having them still physically present, a paradox that breaks the heart in ways words cannot fully express. At times, moments of lucidity appear, brief glimpses of the person you love shining through the haze, only to disappear just as quickly, swallowed again by confusion. Their mind seems to drift in and out of time, leaving both them and those around them feeling helpless and lost. Perhaps the most devastating part of all is the emotional withdrawal. The person who once thrived on social connection and shared joy may now retreat inward, sitting silently, gazing out windows, lost in thoughts they cannot fully express or share. This silence is not a choice, but a reflection of the mind's exhaustion. It is a silent plea for patience and understanding. Conversations that used to be easy can become overwhelming and exhausting, causing agitation and fatigue. Familiar places, once safe havens, may now evoke fear or confusion. The warmth of social interactions that once fed their spirit might now feel like a burden. And yet, beneath this veil of confusion and withdrawal, the core of who they are remains. Their essence endures, even if the mind can no longer fully grasp it. Watching a loved one go through this is one of the slowest and most painful forms of loss. It's a grief that lingers daily, wrapped in the bittersweetness of their physical presence. Family members often find themselves caught between hope and despair, desperate to hold on to memories while confronting the reality of gradual change. But in these moments of struggle, it's important to remember that your loved one is still fighting, sometimes in ways invisible to us. Their mind and body may no longer cooperate as they once did, but they are not choosing to disconnect. They are caught in a battle that's hard to understand and even harder to fight. The greatest gift you can offer is compassion. Meet them where they are, without pressure or expectation. Don't try to force conversations they can't follow or responses they can't give. Instead, offer your presence, gentle, patient, and full of love. Speak softly, hold their hand, or simply sit quietly by their side. Even when words fail, love remains a powerful bridge that connects hearts. Recognizing these changes early allows us to prepare to create a peaceful, safe environment where our loved ones can feel comforted and secure. In the quiet moments, your presence speaks volumes. The love you give, even without words, reaches deep into their soul, reminding them that they are not alone. Because, in the end, love transcends memory. When cognitive clarity fades and words grow scarce, what remains is the profound, enduring connection born of care and presence. That love, your love, will be the light that guides them through these final stages, and it will be the lasting legacy you leave together. Number 4. Frequent infections and slow healing. As the body nears its final chapter, it sadly becomes more vulnerable to even the simplest physical challenges, ones that, in younger years, would have barely left a mark. It's as if the strong fortress that once protected our loved ones begins to crumble, their defenses slowly fading like a dimming light. Watching this unfold is profoundly painful. You might notice someone who rarely ever caught a cold or suffered from infections now trapped in a relentless cycle of illness. A persistent cough, a stubborn fever, or a small scrape that just refuses to heal, no matter how much care you pour into it. These are not mere inconveniences. They are loud, heartbreaking signals that the body's resilience is slipping away. For families, this can feel devastating and deeply frustrating. You find yourself asking, why won't they heal like they used to? Why is something so small becoming so overwhelming? The answer lies in the quiet, unstoppable slowing down of the body's systems. The immune system, once fierce and responsive, now struggles to rally its troops. Illnesses that were once easily defeated, pneumonia, urinary tract infections, become recurring battles. Wounds that would have healed within days now linger painfully for weeks or more, like cruel reminders of fragility. It's unbearably hard to see a loved one, someone who once radiated strength and independence, now weakened by something as simple as a sore or a bruise that refuses to mend. This slow decline is a glaring testament to how delicate life truly is. As their circulation diminishes and vital organs lose their vitality, treatments that once brought swift relief feel powerless. Antibiotics seem to lose their magic, leaving your loved one caught in an exhausting loop of medications and doctor visits, chasing a healing that never quite comes. This transformation is not just physical but deeply emotional for everyone involved. The body becomes a battleground, where even the smallest injury can escalate into something much more serious. And the cruelest part? Infections in the elderly often don't present with the clear, dramatic symptoms we expect. No high fevers or shivering chills. Instead, they manifest in subtle, confusing ways. Increased confusion, a dwindling appetite, a profound, lingering fatigue that doesn't seem to lift. These hidden signs make it so much harder for families to realize something is wrong until the situation has advanced far too much. In the face of this, it's natural to want to fight hard, using more tests, more rounds of antibiotics, desperately hoping for a cure or a miracle. But sometimes, the true miracle isn't in eradicating the infection, but in shifting our focus toward comfort, dignity, and love. When healing is no longer certain, what matters most is ensuring your loved one feels safe, cherished, and cared for in every moment they have left. Hydration, rest, gentle touch, and emotional warmth become more important than aggressive treatments. Accepting this shift is incredibly hard. It feels like surrendering to a sorrow we never wanted to face. Watching someone you love cycle through illness after illness can feel like a heartbreaking endlessness. Yet, it is also a sacred time to offer grace, compassion, and patience. In their final days, your loved one doesn't just need medical care. They need your presence, your quiet strength, and your unwavering love. It is the softness of your hand on theirs, the reassurance in your voice, and the warmth of your companionship that truly soothe the soul. These tender moments become the healing balm that no medicine can provide. Because, ultimately, it's not the wounds or infections that define the final journey of those we cherish. It is the love, kindness, and comfort they receive along the way. And in that love, there is a beauty and peace that can shine through even the darkest struggles. Number 5. Major changes in breathing or circulation. As the body gently approaches its final moments, one of the most profound and heart-rending signs we can witness is the subtle yet undeniable shift in breathing patterns and circulation. These changes don't usually arrive suddenly. They come quietly, almost like a whisper carried on a fragile breeze, barely noticeable at first. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, they grow louder, more frequent, until their presence fills the room with a heavy, solemn weight. For anyone watching a beloved family member or dear friend go through this, it can be devastating to see life's rhythm begin to slow down so obviously before your eyes. You might notice their breaths becoming shallower, slower, or punctuated by uncomfortable pauses that feel like silent gaps in the conversation between the body and the world. Sometimes their breathing may seem labored or uneven, quick and shallow one moment, slow and deep the next, and it leaves you with a gnawing sense of helplessness, an ache deep in your chest that no words can quite touch. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One particularly striking change is what doctors call Cheyne-Stokes respiration, a breathing pattern where deep, rapid breaths alternate with long, silent pauses. At first, this might be alarming, even frightening to witness. But it is simply the body's natural way of adjusting, as it prepares to move into a different, quieter phase of life. Though subtle in the beginning, these cycles tend to grow longer and more pronounced with time, and you find yourself sitting silently, watching each breath, each pause, feeling the weight of every moment. Alongside these changes in breathing, the body's circulation begins to weaken. You may find yourself touching their hands or feet and feeling a surprising coldness, as if the warmth of life itself is slowly retreating. Fingers, toes, the tip of the nose, or even ears may feel icy, distant, like small islands of coldness in a sea of fading vitality. Their skin may lose its usual color, becoming pale, almost ghostly, or take on a bluish hue around the extremities, a clear sign that the heart is no longer able to pump blood as vigorously as it once did. The body is prioritizing vital organs now, conserving energy for what matters most. For family members and caregivers, these physical signs are incredibly hard to witness. Watching someone you love become so physically distant, so fragile, stirs a mixture of sorrow, fear, and a deep, almost unbearable longing to protect them from the inevitable. Even simple movements, shifting in bed, sitting up, trying to speak, may leave them breathless and exhausted. It's heartbreaking to see a person who once moved through the world with ease and grace now struggling for each breath, stopping mid-sentence, gasping quietly as if the very air itself has turned heavy and unkind. Everyday tasks that once seemed effortless, walking across the room, lifting a cup, or simply standing, can suddenly feel like towering mountains to climb. The frustration and resignation in their eyes speak volumes. It's as if an invisible force is holding them back, weighing them down, and no one, not even the most loving caregiver, can lift that burden away. Sometimes, fluid may build up in the lungs, making breathing even more difficult, accompanied by coughs or gurgling sounds that remind us just how fragile life can be. What might be dismissed as a simple cold or minor illness in younger years becomes a serious, often ominous sign in the elderly. As breathing becomes more labored, lying flat may cause discomfort or panic, so they may seek relief by propping themselves up with pillows or settling into a recliner, searching for the smallest comfort in a challenging time. For those who care deeply, these changes bring a heavy sense of helplessness. You want desperately to do more, to ease the struggle, to encourage deeper breaths, to check on them every few minutes and make sure they're okay. But there is a profound and difficult truth here. Sometimes, there is no quick fix, no magic solution to reverse what is unfolding. The focus, then, must gently shift from fighting the inevitable to honoring it, providing comfort, dignity, and peace in these final days. Small acts of care, keeping the room cool but cozy, running a humidifier to ease dry air, offering small sips of water, can make a meaningful difference. But above all else, what they need most is your presence. Your love, your quiet reassurance, and the simple knowing that they are not alone in this transition. Medical interventions like oxygen therapy or medications may help ease symptoms, but the ultimate goal becomes comfort rather than cure. If you notice these signs, changes in breathing, cold extremities, or the telltale bluish tint to the skin, please remember they are not things to fear, but gentle reminders from the body that it is slowing down, conserving energy for the journey ahead. It's a sacred time to be near them, to offer calm and compassion, to create an environment where they feel safe, loved, and deeply cared for. Final thoughts. As we reflect on these profound changes, the drastic weight loss, the overwhelming fatigue, the cognitive shifts, the repeated infections, and these very changes in breathing and circulation, it's clear these are the signs that often appear in the year leading up to the passing of an elderly loved one. They may come gradually, sometimes so softly that we miss them at first, but once they appear, they are undeniable. It's only human to want to fight these changes, to encourage more food, to urge movement, to cling fiercely to hope. But sometimes, the most loving and courageous thing we can do is to accept what the body is telling us. We cannot reverse the natural course of life, but we can make these last days as gentle, peaceful, and meaningful as possible. Understanding these signs is not about fearing death. It's about preparing for it with open hearts and clear minds. Early recognition allows us to make informed choices, to provide compassionate care, and to ensure our loved one's final chapter is written with dignity, warmth, and love. This is a sacred time to cherish every shared smile, every whispered story, every quiet moment of connection. To remind them that their life mattered, that their journey was meaningful, and that they will never be alone. May this reflection bring you comfort, understanding, and peace as you walk this tender path alongside those you love most. Thank you so much for staying with me through this heartfelt discussion about the important signs that often appear in the final year of an elderly person's life. It's never easy to face these realities, but understanding them helps us offer the love, comfort, and dignity our loved ones deserve. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you have learned from this video that touched you deeply or that you plan to bring into your own life or caregiving? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your stories and reflections can inspire and support others going through similar journeys. If you found this video meaningful, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt content and support. Together, we can build a compassionate community that honors life in every stage. Thank you again for being here. Take care and cherish every moment.